Hey, what's going on, vets? Markel here, back with another video. Hopefully you guys are doing well today. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started with the most recent Q&As that I got. There's a total of 3 today. So let's start with the most recent one, which was a lady whose husband is 100% PNT, has been 100% PNT since 2019, and he suffers from TBI. So her question to me was, can she now apply for SMCT because his condition has gotten progressively worse? Okay, so just to be clear, you can apply for SMCT anytime you want. Okay, there's nothing stopping you from applying. Okay, my question to you is, do you know the eligibilities for SMCT? And for those of you who are not familiar with SMCT, SMC, which is special monthly category, T is for people who suffer TBI, traumatic brain injuries, okay? Now this is at the highest level that you can get at, which is SMCT. It is not easy getting approved with that, but there are veterans who have been approved for SMCT. So let's talk about eligibility real quick, all right? The first eligibility is service connection. You have to be service connected, for TBI. The next one would be you're ineligible for SMC R2. R2 is the highest level, okay? So in order to get SMCT, to qualify for that, you have to be ineligible and fit the criteria for SMC R2. Now, the main ones, okay, whether it's going to make or break whether or not you're in the SMCT category, are these 3, all right? First one being, you need to put the veteran in a nursing home, all right? Now, what is a nursing home? Because some people think a nursing home is just glorified babysitting for seniors, for adults who can no longer take care of themselves. Well, that's somewhat true, but there's a key component to most nursing homes. That key component is a medical professional or a medical team. So normally when something happens, right, there's usually a medical profession somewhere on the premises, whether it's a doctor or a nurse, someone who can administer aid right away, know what to do, so on and so forth, okay? That's a key component. The second one would be the veteran has residential institutional care. I'm going to repeat that. Residential institutional care. Now, this is different from your normal aid and attendance, all right? If you're just administering normal aid and attendance, which would be helping the veteran get dressed, feeding the veteran, helping the veteran brush their teeth, comb their hair, so on and so, the basic quality of living. If that's all you're doing, you're going to have an uphill fight, all right? But residential institutional care is, once again, having a medical professional at your home, monitoring the veteran, okay? That's what that basically is, because if you read the eligibility for it, it says without aid and attendance, okay? Aid and attendance alone is not going to get you to the SMCT category. And then the last one would be the veteran has been hospitalized because their issues are so bad that they need around-the-clock care at a hospital. That's another way to qualify for SMCT due to TBI, all right? Now, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an advocate. I'm just explaining to you what's already open to the public, right? And do what you will with that information. But if you're asking, can you apply for SMCT because your spouse's condition has gotten progressively worse? Absolutely. But my question to you is, do you qualify? Now, if you have other questions and this wasn't put in layman's terms to the point where you understood all of that, I would suggest you go to your local comp and pen office, present to them what you have, and ask for an opinion, okay? The same if you're using a service organization, take the information you have or explain what you have in great details to whoever that is. And then they can guide you from there if you're not sure, or you can try to find an advocate, or you can hire an attorney. Because I will tell you firsthand, SMCT, unless it's like really clear for it, like people can just see what's there. Okay, yeah, this veteran is his situation is pretty bad. This is what this veteran needs to do. Because the other component to this, guys, is she's seeing a civilian doctor, which there's nothing wrong with that. And she's having to take all that evidence to the VA. Now, this was, you were being seen at the VA, and they see his condition has gotten progressively worse over the last 4 years. They normally would award you that benefit. But because you're seeing a civilian doctor, yeah, you're going to need to provide everything. And the main thing that this doctor is going to have to show some kind of need that he has, or your veteran, your spouse is going to need medical care around the clock. That's going to be the main thing for SMCT. Okay, go back and read the statute, take that information to a complaint office, to a service organization, to an advocate, or if you have to, see an attorney. All right, now let's move to the next one, which was a comment from a veteran who had never heard of the VA clothing allowance. Okay, I left this veteran a comment explaining what the clothing allowance is, and I'll say it right here real quick. The VA clothing allowance is a one-time payment that is paid to service-connected veterans who have a qualifying prosthetic device or cream or in a wheelchair. The key word being service-connected. If you are not service-connected, regardless of what they give you, because the VA gives out wheelchairs, they'll give out braces, whether it's your knee, your back, your ankle, your foot, whatever, okay? Especially when you are 50% or above, they have no problem giving you whatever device you need to make it through your day or whatever it is you're doing, okay? But it needs to be service connected. If it is not service connected, they're not going to even look at it. They're going to pull up your information. He's not service connected for this need. Okay, we're not going to even address this because you have no service connection. Now, also depending on the type of prosthetic you have, every prosthetic device is not created equal. And each VA hospital, your prosthetics department, is not the same across the board. They're not. Each hospital is ran by a different director. Each director has their own different rules. The same with each prosthetic department. You may be receiving something for a prosthetic device you got in Georgia, where in California, that exact same device does not give them a clothing allowance, okay? So please don't take what one person getting and they're in a completely different state and you're going, well, how they're getting it and I'm not. They wrong for that. No, that might be the policy at that particular VA, which is different than the VA they're at, okay? Please understand that, all right? And then the last one, guys, was the question that I posed on the shorts, which was a 1-minute post about, do you guys show that you were former military when you're traveling abroad or you're living abroad? For example, you're wearing a t-shirt that says DD214, or you got dog tags on, or you're wearing a sleeveless shirt and you're showing like what division you were in, or whatever symbol or whatever you were doing in the military. You're like telling people and broadcasting to the world, this is what you've done, or this is what you did in the past. Now, for me personally, the less people know about you, the better, especially when you're living abroad. Okay, because in the States or in U.S. territory, that's completely different. Okay, there might be situations like having that disabled plate. I didn't really want the disabled veteran on my plate, but in Arizona, I didn't have much of a choice. But that plate had got me out of a lot of different tickets, a lot of different situations I was in. So I was grateful for that. But in general, I don't normally like wear the hat or t-shirt or Army Freedom or any of that. No, I don't wear any of that. I don't. The less people know about you, the better. Now in the States, it could help you get discounts and different things. Okay, cool, get that. And in U.S. territory, same thing. But when you're going outside of that, all right, and you're like here in Colombia, where there's already a stigma because of some of the things that have happened here with other veterans, which is why they have certain rules here in place for veterans, or in some of these other countries where you're not looked upon the same way you're looked at in the States. That's why for me, I don't broadcast anything. I don't tell anybody anything. They ask me a question about it, I go like, I got to do something else. I change the subject and move on from there. Now, there was a comment from Mike, Love and Freedom, where he was talking about in Mexico where he wore his Marine stuff and he was fine. That's a little bit different, Mike, because the Marine base was right there. The Marine base brought a lot of revenue to San Luis as well as Los Algodones. So that's a completely different situation. Like they had, soldiers go there and providing revenue. Whereas you're coming to countries like this, you ain't providing no revenue for these people. They're not giving out no discounts. They don't give a damn how many tours you did or any of that. That doesn't matter 1 iota to these people. None. Okay? But I'm just saying for me, you guys do what you want. The vast majority of you guys were saying, no, you don't advertise and you're not going to advertise. A lot of you guys don't even talk about it in the States. So that was just my point of it, man. When someone asked me about it, I just wanted to get you guys' opinion on it. But me personally, I'm never going to just start displaying, wearing an American flag and do-rag that's an American flag and all that kind of stuff. I'm never going to do that living in these countries. Now in the U.S., different story, but I never really did it in the U.S. either. I normally would just ask if they offered a veteran discount, or in some places you just knew, like a Home Depot's, a Lowe's, or a auto parts store, or different places like that. Even some airlines, I believe, are starting to do it now, as well as some of these like Apple, Samsung. They'll do it too in the U.S. But that's going to be it for now, guys. Hey, I appreciate everybody watching as always. And until the next time, guys, I'm out of here. Peace. Enjoy the rest of your day.